Hi guys, how you going? Campbell here from Autodidactic Channel. Hope you're all having a fabulous day. And of course, autodidactic means to be self-educated, and more it's becoming so apparent that we need to be self-educated because all that we're getting from the mainstream is lies. And so that's what we do here on Autodidactic. We look into and today I wanted to jump in and have a look at the Berlin Zoological Gardens, and I think you'll find them pretty interesting. So let's get into it. Alright, so the Berlin Zoological Gardens, or the Zoologische Garten Berlin. That was a horrible German accent. Is the oldest, best-known zoo in Germany, and it opened in 1844. It covers 35 hectares or 86 acres and is located in Berlin's Tiergarten. With about 1,500 different species and almost 20,500 animals, the zoo presents the most comprehensive collection of species in the world. Opened on the 1st of August 1844, the Zoologische Garten Berlin was the first zoo in Germany. The Aquarium opened in 1913. The first animals were donated by Frederick William IV, King of Prussia, from the menagerie and pheasantry of Tiergarten. During World War II, the zoo was completely destroyed, and only 91 of the 3,715 animals survived. That's horrendous, including 2 lions, some hyenas, elephants, etc. So there we have it, and that's pretty much that. Again, that's the history, guys. That's what we get. Built in 1844, or opened August 1st. They don't tell us who built it, how it was built, or anything. It was just built. And when you see this place, you'll understand why I'm asking a couple of questions here. For example, this is the aquarium. Now, they said this was built in 1913, and to house fish. This. Okay, is that not the most elaborate aquarium you've seen in your life? Yeah, so let's get in and have a look at some more pictures. This is the entranceway, and as you'll see, looking extremely German. Have our ark, looking extremely Asian, isn't it? Big elephants, and I mean, even this looks, almost tied, like you see in Angkor Wat kind of thing. But yeah, that's the entranceway to the zoo. And have a guess what this little beauty is. That's right, that's the Giraffe House. And as we see, look at this. And there is a 4th one just in the background there. So we've got our 4. No doubt there used to be a dome on the top of this to give us the one in the middle. Arches, pillars, portals. Yeah. Alright, so here's a few more pics, and these are all back in the day. This is a hippo. This looks like a pygmy hippo. He's got very short legs. But look at the brickwork in the background. These brick lintels we see everywhere. Obviously this is, I don't know, a circular window or something. Just very old world looking. And this is a zoo, guys. Look at that. Old world street light. Hieroglyphs, because you do at a zoo. We've got our pillars, just all the usual suspects. And this just says, Berlin Zoological Gardens. I'm not sure. That may be the Giraffe House. I'm not sure. This is it. Berlin Zoological Gardens back in the day. This is the entranceway. This is that arch we saw before. It's called the elephant gate. It's got 2 elephants, one on each side here. Nice in the background. Horse and cart. So how did they build all this? Because look at this. Apart from the fact it's a mud flutter, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4 stories high, and it's just huge. And also look at the roof. It's got this real Asian look to it in the middle of Germany. Built what, 1844? Is that what they said? This is, yeah, inside. This is a zoo, guys. A zoo. Okay, look at this. How intricate is that? I mean, this is literally what we see in what they call palaces and things. Look at, in here, look at all this. Completely covered, old world, carved, symmetrical art everywhere. Look at these chandeliers. All to house animals. This is the aquarium with a couple of iguanas here. But again, looking, like a refacaded old world building. We've got this big arch that's of course been closed in because it was kind of oversized. And just, were they drain pipes they've put in, or is that stylized, I wonder? But yeah, looking very, very old world. This is the same, that's that gate there. So this is the aquarium, built to house fish, with its tower, with its antiquitech. The whole lot. Again, was this for airships, maybe, back in the day. This is it, back in the day. Again, you can see these windows going straight into the ground. They've refacaded it with crocodiles. Is that a swimming triceratops? That looks like a triceratops that's half crocodile. But back in the day, look at this thing. The aquarium. I mean, okay. This is, I'm not sure which gate this is, but look what's on the top here, these lions. I don't know, they just kind of struck me as, kind of sphinx-like, a lion on each side lying down. Of course they're lying down, right, because they're lions. Antiquitech here in the background. Old world street lamp. Huge oversized gates. And yeah, just people, not many, just hanging around, going into the gardens, all in their old world garb. Again, I mean, this is just an animal enclosure, guys, at the Berlin Zoo. Look, got this cantilevered tower thing, a proper tower here, and just look at these archways. I mean, what was this? It looks like a train station or airship station or something. All old red brick. These beautiful brick arch lintel things they do. And yeah, just to house, what have we got in there? Bears, maybe? Again, Berlin. So there's water, there's big lakes and things, remnants of the canals. And we have this again, this arched building. And this one's actually, if you can't see it, it's actually domed. Now, I'm not sure if this is, I think it's the Giraffe Enclosure. Just because of that bit there, I'm not sure. There's a lot of buildings in here, and they're not sort of marked as to what they are, most of them. This is just one of the viewing platforms. And look at this. And, they expect us to believe they're building this in the 1840s when, of course, the old story, there's no tech, there's no money, people are living in the dirt. This is what they tell us. People are living in shanty towns and wooden shacks and on the street, but they're building this for the animals. Because you've got to house animals in old world buildings. We've got this down here. Got massive columns here. They both look like they've had something else sitting on top of them at one point. And just built out. You can see the arches here, more columns, arches. Yeah, the rotundas. Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. but everyone looks like they're having a good time, so that makes it all okay. This is a drawing, but just look at, you know, the intricacy again, just on the tops of these columns. And this is for a zoo, or so they say. And this one, Zoo Berlin, everyone just standing around for a nice photo opportunity in front of a castle. And actually there is one of these in Perth that is almost identical to that. It's very similar, especially the way they do this brickwork in different colours, and they put patterns in there. Yeah, same stuff all over the world. But yeah, look at this nice photo op out in the Berlin Zoo. This one, the pavilion, Amtech, and check out that dome. I mean, what's going on there? That looks like it's, I don't know, from the Epcot Centre. Very spacey, isn't it? Don't know what kind of, you know, and it's a double. I've never seen a dome like that before, but look at this. It goes straight into the water with these arches. They just straight into the water. So looking, you know, like the top of a tower, really, isn't it? And again, there's waterways around here as well. And there's a lot of trees. Apparently all the trees are numbered, and it's got one of the biggest sort of populations of trees, you know, and variation of trees. So something was going on here. And that may have just been how they did every Star City. Who knows? Yeah, bears. Here's the bear enclosure again. And look at this brickwork. How they put the designs in there. And they're telling us this is all for bears. Portals. I mean, so they've literally found an old world city and turned it into a zoo. I mean, look at this. And again, this has got that real Asian-y kind of look to it, hasn't it? Apart from this very vicious looking door. Sunbursts. And they just put fences around it and chuck some animals in there. That's just bizarre. Some elephants back in the day. And you can see they're standing in front of this big Moorish doorway. And of course, you know, just the whole, you know, look, this is all brickwork. And that shape again, we see this on buildings on the sides of houses, and it's also the shape you see inside the Great Pyramid. So yeah, something to do with, I don't know, fractal stacking, layering. We have all this, and again in the brickwork by the looks of it. I mean, look at these mosaics, and they just chuck some elephants in there. And this is the elephant gate. So two big elephants. This is what we saw before. This is the aquarium, I believe, next to it. You can see how big it is. Got a little man here. And yeah, that's the zoo entrance. And here's a pic from back in the day, a drawing, just to show you again. And look at this. The Elephant House. Look at the dome on it. Look at the Antiquitech up here. And in the background, what have we got here? We've got a dome here, we've got a dome here. All these, you know, elongated domes. Oh, there is one here, yep. Okay, so one there. So this is the same design. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one in the middle. We see that everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere. And of course, if you join the tops of these 4 outside domes up, and point them all and connect them to the middle, you get a pyramid. And again, this is the bear house. Have you ever wondered why bears don't have bare feet? It's like they're covered in fur, they're not bare at all. Some elephants on the run, and here's that ridiculous domed building. Big dome out the front here as well. And again, and just ridiculous. I mean, they're explaining this. I don't even know how they're trying to explain this away as a zoo. Look at this. This clearly looks like a train station or airport, airship port, something like that, doesn't it? like it really does, you know, with these roofs and the curves. Definitely doesn't look like it was built for elephants. And here's some elephants playing ball. And again, that big Moorish doorway. I mean, it's literally just a big old world building, and they've just chucked elephants in there. And this is back in the day, and you can see how intricately covered this was. And again, very Asian. Look at all these dragons. And look at this, of course. And very antiquity. I'm not sure what this. See how this has got a shape cut into it. And yeah, look at this, dragons. Oh, they've whacked some elephants in there, so that's good. What dragons have got to do with elephants, I don't know. And here's Moorish doorways everywhere, not level, completely covered. So it looks like this is old world, but someone's come in and sort of whacked these elephants in there. I don't know, they just don't look quite as intricate as this stuff around it, do they? Who knows, maybe they were already there and that's why it became the Elephant House. And here's just another pic of the Giraffe House, and as you can see, full antiquitech up here, up on columns. Yeah, very Moorish looking, this gateway. There's doors behind it. It's a, you know, 2-story, 3-story building, and they've just whacked some giraffes in there. There it is again. And oh, that's all I've got, I think. So yeah, very, very old world buildings, but yeah, a bit of a Moorish and an Asian theme to them as well. Okay, and here we are on the Google Earths, and this is the Berlin Zoo, and have a look what we see straight away. But a man-made canal. Here we have our man-made island that we see everywhere, and a bit more water. This is part of the zoo as well, I think. This is where we saw those domed buildings, I think. Oh, it looks like there's water in there as well, but yeah, this is obviously, yeah, look at this, radiating lines, look at this, radiating lines, old world, just old world city everywhere. Here's our, what are we calling these? Our whoopie bits. I don't know, I've got to find a name for these. But yeah, all the canals have this shaped flow, and normally you'll find the Star City on the edge of here, so I'd say this would have been the big Star City, and of course it's all been covered over, but they've kept this nice, what is that, an obelisk? Yep, an obelisk. Okay, so Berlin Zoo. I mean, and look at this place. Look, just big domed glass houses, ridiculousness. And they said, of course, this was bombed, so most of it got destroyed in the war. Oh God, that looks like it is still destroyed. I wonder if we can have a look. No, you got to pay to go in. But yeah, look at that. That looks like it's, maybe it's just an animal enclosure. But yeah, big old world building here. So some of it made it through the bombing. And, you know, look, all these, they're just, oh, yeah, okay, here's the water, I think, where we have the domed buildings and things. Is that no, it's a fountain. So basically this thing is in the middle of a star city. Look at that. You can see they've literally just, I don't know, cordoned a bit off and called it a zoo. I've got no idea why. But yeah, just, I mean, come on, look at, this is Berlin, huge star city. And if we come out, we're going to see the border. No, you can see it around here. See this shape? This is the edge of the Star City. And this would have been it as well. And of course, we've got the water going through it. Of course, the water course. And just all the old features. I mean, this is a good one too. Look at all the radiating lines. But it looks like they've trashed most of the geometry here. You know, built over stuff, let it grow over. Yeah, because there's none of the boulevards left or anything like that. We've got a bit of one there, but they've turned into a sports grounds by the looks of it. But you can see that was an old boulevard that they've filled in and repurposed. So yeah, but so the Berlin Zoo definitely where to go. Definitely part of a star city. And this is also in Berlin. This is the Berlin Victory Column. And I thought this was a pretty interesting monument. You can see the huge size of it. We have these colonnaded, I'm not sure, rotunda things, and a massive, massive pillar on top, and an angel. And we see this a lot. These columns, just random columns by themselves, not part of buildings, and they have angels on top of them. And here's a look at the angel. And oops, as we can see, look at all this antiquitech type stuff. All these spires in this shape. We see this pointy sort of shape everywhere on the tops of antennas and things. Up here there's a viewing deck. Look at that. There's people here. So you can actually climb up this tower and get to the top, much like an airship tower maybe. But then they've come along, you can see there's the pole where it's attached, and they've put this massive angel on the top. Nice belt there. Eagle, open wings, another open winged eagle on the head. What's going on there? And the wreath. And up here we've got, yeah, antiquitech-y looking stuff. And this is not really looking old world, is it? It's not really of the quality of the old world. It's okay. I mean, it's not too bad, but it kind of looks like the gold wrapping alfoil you get on chocolates and stuff a bit. But yeah, so people up the top of this tower. And look at all this antiquitech. I wonder if this is copper all the way up. And you can see how this column is all sectioned. Like literally, they could make these sections and then stack them. But it's got to be done, you know, that would be a strong structure standing up there in the wind. And then sitting on this doorway, and then you can climb up the middle of this tower and pop out the top on this deck. So what was this? And again, like I said, we see these columns everywhere. Are they all actually just towers you can just walk up? You know, we've got this platform at the top with a fence. Just looking like it could be an airship port of some kind. Looking very suspicious. And here's another pic just to show you its size. I mean, clearly people are walking up this thing, so it's pretty big. And on a boulevard as well. So it's at the end of one of these boulevards. You know, no doubt it would have had all the geometry and tech, and there'd be, you know, arches and domed buildings and things. But yeah, they like to rip out all the infrastructure and just leave these parts of them and say, oh no, that's just a statue. They built it like that just because. Don't ask any questions. And here it is again. And just, you know, it's just for a comparison in size. Look at this thing. I'm not sure where the boulevard went. Or maybe the boulevard's down that way. And I mean, look at this again. And even here, you know, we've got the dome in the middle. We've got the point at the top. And these are just, you know, towers, but 4 of them. They're not domed anymore. I'd say they would have been. But yeah, 4, 1 in the middle, and these have all got a big antenna coming out of them. You know, and look at this place. But Germany got hammered. Germany got destroyed in the end of World War II, everyone sort of joined in and decided to bomb the crap out of it. We all know about Dresden, and of course the story we've been told about that is far from what actually happened. So there you go, just a quick one, guys. I just wanted to show you really Berlin Zoo. Yeah, how they've basically just got a bit of a star city and turned it into a zoo. Just repurposed it, refacaded it, rebranded it, and now everyone calls it a zoo. Quite strange how they can do that, but it just shows you how everything gets rebranded. Like everything gets rebranded. So, you know, these type buildings, they're all now what we call Capitol buildings. You know, we see them everywhere. They're always domed. But what were they really? Were they energy collectors? Were they energy storage places? Because we also get the red brick factory looking buildings everywhere that look like they may have been, again, the places where they were storing the energy, because a lot of them are full of the old machinery. We're not really sure what all that did. Just a lot of questions. And just, you know, this is a good shot because it's just the, you know, well, actually this is the old world. Is that a car? I don't know. But just, you know, this scene of just old world bits popping up through the landscape, you know, domes and towers, and it's just all over the world, guys. There's no denying it. And if you haven't heard, we do have a group that we've started on Mewe. The link is below, and it's a research group where we're getting people to come in, post any information they have, pics and things, just so we can all have a look at it, give our opinions and start to work this stuff out. I'm also starting a new series with the Berserker Bear, just explaining, you know, the basics of Tartaria and what it is, what we're talking about. So that should be also coming out in the next week or so. Also, please leave me a like, a subscribe, a comment, and make sure you share this content out if you like it as well. And just a big thank you to everyone who supports this channel in any way they can. Obviously, you know, with the likes and the sharing, and also everyone who does support me on Patreon, PayPal, and through my merch stores. And if you would like to support this channel, you will find links below in the description. So there you go, Old World in Berlin, Germany. So hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I'll catch you all on the next upload. Bye for now.